So we can see here from the result, it was able to find a number of files. Some of them we already know of. Now the fav icon is just an icon, footer and header. These are probably only style files. Index is the index that we see usually, so it's alright. Login, we can see that we discovered a page that allows people to log in. Now in many scenarios, I was able to find username and password of a target exploiting a really complex exploit, and then ending up not being able to log in because I couldn't find where to log in. So tools like this could be very useful. And here we can see that we have a login page that we can use to log in. Page not found, not very useful. You can see the PHP info file. Now this file is usually very useful because it displays a lot of information about the PHP interpreter running on the web server. And as you can see, this file contains a lot of information. A lot of them are useful. Now you can see, you get to know some of the directories. You know that it's running PHP 5. The configuration is stored in this file. ini files is usually the config files for PHP, so you can see all the places where they're stored. Going down, you'll see all the permissions, the installed. We can see here it has MySQL, so it's using MySQL, and you can see the directories where different types of configurations are stored. You can also see all the modules and extensions that are being used with PHP. So this file is usually very useful. You can see we managed to find where the PHP myadmin login is, and that's basically the login that's used to log into the database. Another very useful file is the robots.txt, and that is the file that tells search engines such as Google how to deal with the website. So it usually contains files that we don't want the website or Google to see or to read. So if we can read that file, then we'll be able to see what the web admin is trying to hide. So going in here, we can see that the web admin doesn't want Google to see a directory called passwords. Okay, and it also doesn't want it to see a file called config.inc. And it also doesn't want it to see these other files. So let's have a look on the passwords and the config.inc as examples. So I'm just going to open a new tab, and we're going to put our address like so. So it's the current directory, and then we just put passwords after. In that, we can see that there's a file called accounts.txt. And going here, we can see that we got some usernames and passwords. So we can see there is admin pass. We can see that we have a password as Adrian and some password. So we managed to find usernames and passwords. Now we're still not sure what these usernames and passwords for, but we're sure that we were able to find very useful stuff. Another useful file is the config.inc. So let's see what's in that. And from here we can see that we have information that allow us to connect to the database, because these are saying db host, db user, db pass, and name. So we can see that the username is root and the password is blank. So we can go ahead and try to connect to the database based on these commands, and then we should be able to get access to that database. Also, using these passwords, we're still not sure what we can use them for, but we can add them to a list, try to log into the admin, or just store them in a list so that we can use it if we're going to do any brute force attack. So then again, this is another video that just shows how important and powerful information gathering can be.